starting to work on Etude number 3. I would encourage you to consider taking it like a ballad. It will enable you to start learning it at a controlled manner without much tension in the fingers. Many times students will start approaching this etude and practice it too fast too soon. And what you do is you train your fingers to play with tension, and you never really get good clean technique that's relaxed and that sounds fluid and that sounds dance-like. So for example, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it at an eighth note. I'm going to put it at about 120 right now. There's nothing wrong with taking it at that speed so that you can get relaxed fingers and then slowly increase 10, 15, 20 clicks at a time until you start to get it in the ballpark to where it would be efficient to drop back down to the dotted quarter pulse and practice it at that. So that's the very first thing. Don't be afraid to take it slower. Second of all, pay close attention to the rhythmic differences in measure 3 and measure 9. So let me demonstrate that. In measure 3 you got, it's real easy to get lulled to sleep and play the same rhythmic cell as you did on the first beat. So I've heard students do this before. And if you could tell, there's a mistake because that second rhythmic cell is a little different. So also, not only in measure 3, but also in measure 9, if you take a look at the very end, make sure that you're not flipping around that rhythmic cell on that. Ironically enough, it's easy to drag in measure 7. Now, I say ironically enough because those are the straight eighth notes where you would think everything else is flying 16th notes all the way through here. But when you get to those eighth notes, it's quite an easy spot to get dragged, to let yourself drag. So just be conscious of that when you're practicing. Make sure you're living with a metronome on it, and just be conscious when you're coming out of. Check that cell, now check that particular spot with a metronome and make sure there's not a tendency to want to slow down right there. It's easy to have that happen. So I hope that, that those practice tips can be helpful for you, and best of luck with your practice and preparation for Etude number 3.